Hi, in this video I'm going to talk about what is identity theft and credit card fraud. Let's get started. Hi, I'm Marcus Sortias from StreetSmartTraveler.com, and today I'm going to talk about what is identity theft and credit card fraud. Because as you apply for frequent flyer credit cards, you might be concerned about identity theft and what if someone steals your credit card information and runs up debts. So today I'm going to talk about a story from my own experience and how you can stop an identity thief from scamming you. Alright, so my story begins with I was at work one day and I got a phone call on my cell phone, and the caller on the other line claimed to be from the fraud prevention unit at my bank. He said that someone had charged an $8,000 Lufthansa flight to my credit card. And so he was very high pressure, and he stressed like the urgency of the situation and how I needed to take quick action. So he asked for some financial details, which like an idiot I gave some. But then like about a little way through, I realized, wait a minute, like I've heard about scams where the con artist pretends that you've been a victim from a scam to panic you into giving up personal information. So the guy on the phone asked for like a couple more personal details, but I felt uncomfortable by that point, so I stopped. I went online, I found the website for my bank and found their credit card hotline, the fraud prevention hotline, to report fraud. And so I just called them up back on my own phone. And so I said, I just received a call that I've been a victim of identity theft, but I'm suspicious that I might have given a real identity thief that information and that the first call was fake. So the person at the bank checked, and to my great relief, the first call was actually legitimate. They said there was a note in my file saying that I had been contacted, but I hadn't confirmed action to close the account. So the person at the bank told me the last couple transactions that were made on my credit card. And so I think the big one was the Lufthansa flight, and there were a couple other smaller things. So I told them which ones were not me and which purchases had been made by me. And because there already been a couple of fraudulent purchases, they decided to close the account, issue me a new credit card, and Express mailed it to me within 2 days. So as far as identity theft goes, it was relatively painless, but still it was scary and not a good experience at all, not a fun experience. So I've been doing a little bit of research, and I put together a list of tips that'll help you avoid this problem. So the first and most obvious one is don't give any information over the phone to someone who calls you and claims that you've been a victim of fraud. Always hang up, look up the real phone number for yourself for the fraud reporting hotline for your bank, and call them yourself. So that way you know you're contacting a real person at your bank. And at a similar level, you also want to be careful of emails that ask you for personal information. So these are called phishing emails, spelled Phishing. And so a lot of these emails, they claim to be from your bank or from a trusted website like eBay or Amazon.com. And they claim that maybe there's been a problem with your account and you need to sign in order to correct the problem. But a lot of times if you hover over the link, you realize it's not actually going to Amazon.com or eBay.com. It's going to some weird long URL. So always never click on those links, and it's better just to delete them. And then another thing to be careful of is social media. So you don't want to have too many personal details on your social media profiles, because things like your hometown, your high school, your college, these are the kind of things that credit cards and financial services use as your security questions. And these are how an identity thief can guess your access details. So definitely be careful of what you reveal on social media. And then another thing is more of an in-person thing, but be careful of the ATM machines you use your credit card on. Always, you have to be careful of what they call skimming. That's when a hacker or identity thief installs a fake card slot over the real card slot, and all it does is scan in the information on your bank cards. So one way you can test this is to try pulling on a card slot before you put in your card. If it comes off easily, it's probably fake. And another thing you need to do is like cover the keypad when you're typing in your PIN number so that at least the camera doesn't see. Because what these skimmers do, it's usually a two-part thing. They put a fake card slot and they also put another camera above the keypad. So hopefully by covering the keypad when you type in your PIN number, you can prevent that from happening. Okay, and another thing, if you want to be alerted if you're a victim of credit card fraud, is set up alerts on your credit cards and bank cards with your bank or credit card. Just log in, and usually they make this very easy to do. Just look up something like alerts or notifications, things like this. And in my case, I don't mind getting all those emails, so I just turn everything on. Because after that experience, I was just paranoid. I didn't want that to happen again. Okay, and if you want to monitor your credit in the future, every year you're allowed to get one free credit report from the 3 credit bureaus. So those 3 credit bureaus are Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Now they've sponsored a website called www.annualcreditreport.com. That is the official website to get your free credit report from them. Don't go to any other website. So you can get a free credit report every year. Now the credit report, I should say, it doesn't include your credit score. It only includes your credit report and like your past history. Alright, so I hope these tips help you out and keep you from being a victim of identity theft like what happened to me. So if you want more advice, a good place to go is the website for the US Federal Trade Commission. So that's at www.ftc.gov. Now, you might be like me, after that happened to me, I actually got very interested in how identity thieves operate and how these credit card hackers work. So a good example to study if you want more information on how this type of crime happens is to try to look for information about the Max Butler case. His name is M-A-X, last name B-U-T-L-E-R. So there's an episode of the TV show American Greed that features Max Butler. So you might be able to find it online if you search on YouTube or other video websites. There's also a great article in Wired magazine about him. So just look for Wired magazine and Max Butler, and you can find a long, in-depth article about him. Actually, the article was so well received that the writer of the article later expanded the article into a book, which is called Kingpin. You can also check that out. So I hope this helps you out and helps you to avoid credit card fraud. Okay, so I'm Marcus Sortias from StreetSmartTraveler.com, and if you'd like more tips and advice, you can sign up for my newsletter at www.streetsmarttraveler.com.